Jai Sri Ram. Welcome everybody to Bharat Marg. Welcome Vinay Ji. Thank you for joining us. Absolutely. Today we are going to discuss about something big, folks. Okay, this is about Canadian schools. Today topic is about Canadian schools, Hindu children in danger. Okay, and parents horrified. This is what we are going to discuss with Vinay Ji on it, and warning from Khalistani terrorists. Click watch this discussion with political analyst Vinay Ji. Terrorism in Canada, Hindu exodus. Is that the only solution? Keeping the vulnerable children in the school, how the parents feel. We will discuss on all those things. But before going further, friends, please make sure to like the video, comment on the video, share the video with as many people as you can. And also, friends, please make sure to subscribe our channel, Bharat Marg, and press the notification bell so that you can get informed as we go live. And also do know we send out one dharmic message every day in multiple languages. To get that, all you have to do is send a WhatsApp message to +1 647 964 4790 and let us know your name and where you are from and what language you want the message in, and you will get it. Okay. Anyway, so that you can stay connected with the roots of Sanatan. Vinay Ji, thank you very much for joining us. And see, I just want to say I am talking to a lot of Hindu parents who are in Canada, right? And their children, young children, are in the school. I'll go to different classifieds on what the concerns are from the college kids, and their parents and etc. here who are migrants here, who come in student visa, etc. But let's talk first about the schools where the Hindu children, the Khalistani terrorist has already given a warning that Hindus, Indo-Canadian Hindus have to get out. And anytime you give a complaint, Canadian police, we have put already we put out a video on this. We did a sting operation on the Canadian police, and we put out a video that is available with Bharat Marg, and where they went to the Khalistani event where they had a flag on the Canadian police roams around with the Canadian Khalistani flag. You know how it is. So parents are concerned, when the terrorist gives a warning, you Hindus better get out. Okay. And these vulnerable children are in the school. Already we have seen, okay, I'm just taking a minute and phrasing my question, Vinay Ji. Already we have seen how these Hindu children were targeted during the farmers' protest and CAA protest. Okay. And these the Khalistanis and jihadis who are penetrated inside the school system, they were brainwashing the children, saying that Hindu means genocide doers, Hindu means mass murderers. These things all happened. You know that. Okay, in the school by the teachers themselves, and the school system was sponsoring this. And what do? Call the police? Police is again infested with the same people. Now, who is going to stand with us? So parents are worried. They are horrified. What will happen to our children? They are going to be alone. Will they be discriminated? Will they be targeted? Are they safe in the Canadian school? Being a minority, they are concerned. Vinay Ji, please let us know. And what you will say to the parents.
No, absolutely. Thanks for the opportunity. The whole issue between the Indian government and the Canadian government has cascaded after Justin Trudeau, the Prime Minister of Canada, openly announced in the Parliament that the Indian government is responsible for.
He said he has a credible allegation.
All that is fine. Yeah, I'm just getting to the point, because his intent was not credible allegation. His intent was that government of India is fully responsible for the killing of terrorist Niger. Okay. Obviously, he didn't say terrorist. He said secessionist Niger, or whatever. They may have used that reference. But the thing is, end of the day, there's no credible evidence against the whole issue. There's no hard facts. And then the second time around, yesterday, again, he made that a point basically saying that United States is backing us. United States is not backing them. So it's like completely going around in circles. And now coming to the point that you brought up, right? Right after this, the Khalistanis got a kind of a great kind of an impetus, like a support from the Canadian government for having announced this in the Parliament and for having brought in the Five Eyes, the intelligence, for that share the 5 countries that share intelligence information. So they thought that they will basically get all these. It'll become an international issue, but unfortunately that didn't happen. So right after that, the Sikh for Justice guy, he calls himself a member of the Sikhs for Justice, Pannun, that's his name. So this man, who's shown in the picture right here, he made a straight hate speech against the Indo-Canadian Hindus. He said, Indo-Canadian Hindus, if you guys do not follow the Constitution of Canada, while Khalistanis follow the Constitution of India, of Canada, that's such an irony, right? So basically he said, Indo-Canadian Hindus, since you do not follow the Constitution of Canada, you should head back to Canada. Head back to India. Just leave Canada, go back to India. Basically, that was a threat, and it was a hate speech. And despite that, Canada is known for not tolerating hate crime, not tolerating hate speeches, and
no, not against Hindus, not against minority Hindus. I want to clarify.
I'm being generic.
If it is some other sect, yes.
And then no discrimination, no blah blah blah. They have all this laws written and and all that stuff, right? But they did not. Nobody in the from the Liberal Party or the government or even an official or even a police officer or anybody say, oh, this is not acceptable. We've got to do something about it because this is strictly or truly a hate speech. So now, what is that? How is that going to impact the school children, especially that you brought up, right? Like, there are a lot of Hindus in the school, and I think
and they are jealous also. You had to let's put it in a Hindu children are one of the top scoring children.
Right, exactly. Sorry.
Yeah. Please go ahead. Yeah, there is a jealousy factor too there. That's what I mean to say.
No, absolutely. So basically, what it is, like, from what I understand, the population of Hindus, is not something that should be taken for granted in Canada. I believe they are something like about 2.3% of the Canadian population or something like that, right? And the Sikhs have a population of around 2.1%, if I'm not.
Yeah, and I also refuse to believe all are Gaddar.
Exactly. Like, not everybody is Khalistani. Not everybody is a Khalistani Siparas.
Not everybody who sells their own mother.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I've got the statistics here. Christians obviously form the biggest population, like 53.3%. Hindus are 2.3%. Sikhs are 2.1%, and Sikhs, all Sikhs are not are Khalistanis. So there's a very small minuscule of these Sikhs to 2.3% of the population that are actually Khalistani supporters. So, but the thing is,
But Gurudwara here are run by who?
What's that?
The Gurudwaras are run by who here? Because everywhere you have the Bindranwale photo and everything, right?
Yeah, not again all the Gurudwaras are like that. Again, I don't have the statistics on that. But many Gurudwaras are completely controlled by the Khalistanis, and some of the Gurudwaras are not.
Pure. Mm-hmm.
But what I'm saying is there are certain cities in Canada, there are certain regions in Canada, for example, Surrey, BC, Brampton in Ontario, these are all highly populated with the Sikhs. Okay, it has a huge population of the Sikhs, and here's where I feel the Hindu kids are vulnerable. Okay, now coming to your point, what you asked me, like in schools, okay, there was already a huge discrimination. Okay, and I'll tell you, kids go to school, I get the feedback, I know this stuff, what happens there, right? The kids actually, the Punjabi, like some of the Sikh kids, and they kind of feel that they're not part of India, and these are the true Khalistanis. And the thing
Because
is,
they are trained by the Gurudwara, where it is venom is spewed over the using the Gurudwara.
exactly. And no, and also they're indoctrinated by their own parents.
Right.
Okay, and not only that, even in schools, like teachers are so biased sometimes. Like, you saw what happened during the farmer protest in 2021, right? Like many schools in Peel District School Board, that's in Brampton and Mississauga and those kind of and in British Columbia and other schools too, where there were these Sikh teachers. They were actually influencing the kids and trying to kind of and not only influencing the Sikh kids, but also influencing the Hindu kids and other kids by saying the farmer protest is wrong, what the Modi government is doing is wrong, and blah blah blah. And they
And the
basically,
Hindus did the genocide. So many things.
yeah, they said a lot of bad things. And then there were posters. I saw many posters in Ontario going around, in British Columbia going around, saying that there have been mass murders in India of Sikhs, genocide of Sikhs. This is all such a false narrative. Like, it brought a huge, I mean, people get influenced. Like when they see such things,
And
people
young
think,
kids
oh my God, this
especially.
could be true.
Young kids especially.
And young kids especially, right? And many of the Hindu kids kind of started coming home and asking their parents, like, what's going on with Modi? What's going
Are
on
we?
with,
Yeah.
and what's going on with the Indian government? Is it all true? And this, I'm seeing a repeat of this now, because not only, I mean, not just being kind of influenced, but now intimidated and scared as well, because the Sikh population is pretty big in Brampton and, like I said, in Surrey, BC, and other parts of Canada. And where they are a majority, they are going to influence the school system. They're going to probably start bullying the Hindu kids. They're probably going to start, intimidating these Hindu kids.
And one more thing, I just want to bring something here in the part of our discussion, that is, all of a sudden Canadian schools have started bomb drills. Okay, anything, I don't know what it is connected here, but why they have to start a bomb drill all of a sudden this year?
No, I heard about the bomb drill apparently in North York in sometime in just before the summer holidays, right? On June the 13th, I think, if I'm not mistaken. There was a bomb drill there was a bomb scare actually in a school, in a Toronto school called George Vanier Secondary School, and this is in the area of Don Mills and Van Horn Avenue in Toronto. And there was a bomb scare, and the school was initially placed in hold and secure, but a Toronto police tweet sent at 11:43 a.m. said the school had been closed and students were sent home. Now, this was a serious bomb threat, and obviously police took it extremely seriously. The school was cleared by Toronto's police explosive disposal unit just after around 2 p.m., but the police remained on scene and continued to investigate. So basically, a bomb threat is not something that is heard or seen in a developed country like Canada.
No, bomb threat. Forget about bomb threat in Canada. Don't forget Kanishka airline was blown, where multiple children were killed, innocent children were killed, women were killed by the terrorists.
Absolutely.
Did you forget that? What is new for Canada?
No, this is absolutely true. I mean, if you go back in 1982, India asked the then Prime Minister, Mr. Trudeau, that is Justin Trudeau's father, Pierre Trudeau, to kind of extradite a known terrorist of Babbar Khalsa International, BKI, called Parmar. Okay, but the
And
Trudeau
he was in bed with terrorists also, same like this guy.
yeah, the Trudeau at the time, the senior Trudeau government said no, we cannot extradite Parmar because Parmar is a very law-abiding citizen. We have freedom of speech here, freedom of expression, and blah blah blah. We cannot extradite him, and they refused. Okay, so and guess what happened? 3 years later, Parmar planted a bomb on Air India Kanishka and killed about 320 or 30 people on board.
And numerous women and children in that.
Numerous women and children. In fact, I know a few families who were affected, and it's heart wrenching actually when we hear about that, right? Because the families lost. I remember one of the families. The husband was traveling with the kids. The wife was left behind here, and they were going to India, but all three got blown. And obviously, the wife is a widow now, and that kind of stuff, right? So,
But as per Canadian government, it never happened because nobody was punished.
exactly. And then guess what? 1985, this happened, bombing. It took 18 years after that. 18 years after that for Babbar Khalsa International to be banned by the Canadian government.
And now they have their members' pictures in every Gurudwara or what?
Yeah, and fast forward now, I think Parmar's picture, Bindranwala's picture, they're all there in the Gurudwaras. And now fast forward to 2023, exactly what's happening. Indian government approached the Canadian government and said, hey guys, this is the terrorist list. And they released a list of, I think, about 40 or 45 terrorists that are outside of India. And I believe about 20 odd terrorists live in Canada. And it was released to the government, and they said that, hey, these guys are, wanted by the Indian police, and they need to be extradited or whatever, right? So, but guess what? Rather than saying something nice or trying to work on that, the Canadian government said no. And also some gang killing happened about a few months ago where Nijar was killed, and he had many enemies and stuff like that. But unfortunately, the guy was was killed by one of the gang wars or whatever happened, and the Canadian government said no, this is freedom of speech. So and yesterday, I believe another gangster was killed here.
I don't know why they are not talking about that. Maybe he had a confirmed allegation. It's not done by India.
Exactly.
I don't know why the Canadian PM.
No. The funny thing is the yesterday's CBC News, which is owned by the government, was actually airing we have confirmed the news now about the allegations against India. And I was listening. I said, what's this confirmed news, right? And it turns out nothing. Apparently, one of the Five Eye countries, which is the United States, apparently has some information where they are not able to reveal or provide that information, but things will come out into the open very soon or something like that.
But they can go and get Osama bin Laden in Pakistan. Only they are the police of the world. They have the license for those things.
Exactly. Yeah.
But anyway, you went well into the Kanishka airline blast by the Khalistani terrorists. Okay, now keeping that in line, this threat, that's why people are thinking it is so real, because they don't have no mercy for women or children or anything like that. You know what I mean? So they think children are very vulnerable at the school, and who do you call? Police. You know how the Canadian police respond. You know what I mean? And there are so many proofs for it. Okay. And having said that, now what is the option Hindus have when they have young children, and does it create an exodus from Canada?
That's a very good question, actually. That's what I'm afraid of for many of the Hindus that live in Canada. you're talking about a pretty significant population here, 2.3%. And not only the Hindus, I'm also talking about the Sikhs who are non-Khalistanis. They also will be intimidated, because they will say basically, hey, you know what? You join our organization, maro ya maro. So that's basically the,
I just want to sorry to interfere. I just want to bring two incidents here for the interest of the public. That is, one, a radio host who was asking what's wrong with the farmer protest. He was a Sikh gentleman and he was absolutely beaten up to death. He survived barely, but no government official stand or saw him because he was just not them. He was a Sikh gentleman.
Because
okay, so many Sikh population is actually very, very scared or even to talk, because they will be business will be banned, they boycott and all those things, because this lobby is pretty powerful. The Pakistan, Pakistan Pak Premi lobby.
No, yesterday I was listening to a radio host who runs an Indian channel Indian radio station. So this man, Punjabi, and he said, you know what, I don't want to, CBC was interviewing him, and he basically said, no, I don't want to talk anything bad about anybody, because I don't want to be in trouble with anybody, because you know what, I have a family, and I don't want to lose my life or whatever. So these were his words, and it's unfortunate that this is happening. And going back to your question about the whole thing is basically it's a thing of intimidation and threats and fear,
and the government Trudeau government actually it's like a Dhritarashtra syndrome, what we call. They don't want to see it, they ignore it. For them, Hindu is not a human being. Because exactly. When the Hindu temples attack, Hindus attack, no, it's nothing for Trudeau and his government.
Correct. What they have not realized, their intelligence service, if it is so damn intelligent, then they should know that the 2.1% of the Sikh population that lives in Canada, not all of them are Khalistani supporters. Number one. Number two, they should also know that it's on the public domain that it's the percentage of Hindus that live in Canada is more than the Sikhs. It's 2.3% as opposed to 2.1%.
He thinks that he can give a lollipop and buy Hindus. I don't know whether this is going to work this time. No Hindu is going to be acceptable when Bharat is under attack. Exactly. It's not going to happen.
So as a result of this threat by Pannun just a couple of days ago, what is going to happen is, like, all the majority of the Sikh population that live here who are non-Khalistanis are under threat, and the Hindus that live here are under threat, and there is a possibility of a mass exodus that may happen very soon. It all depends on how Trudeau is going to bring this under control. If he doesn't bring this under control very soon, there's going to be a mass exodus.
Hindu children, see, think about it. During the farmer protest, it was a government sponsored. Otherwise, how a teacher can go and indoctrinate Hindu children saying that being Hindu is wrong, your families did genocide. This is what taught inside the school.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I've heard this, and this is ridiculous, and this is not happening now. It's been happening since the farmers' protest, and maybe even before.
And also, the Hindu parents are scared from both the ends. Now, see, the $30 billion industry, Indian students come to Canada. $30 billion. If they stop coming, Canada will crash. That's for sure. Okay. But having said that, how many Hindu students are being killed, butchered? You know that. That never comes to. See, here the media is not free. They get against them, your money won't come. Many people don't know that.
Yeah.
Okay. No, and guess what?
I mean, like,
now the parents.
Yeah.
Parents sitting in India are afraid for their children. What will happen? Because here is a government who is openly siding with the terrorists, okay, and who is giving warning, you either get out now. See, the people who are here for decades, they get threatened. Then what will happen to the students who came new here? What do you think?
No, actually,
Vinayji, last question, we are done.
no, actually, the funny thing was yesterday. Beyond News, one of the premier television channels in India, they announced that the Canada has been declared as a country of gangsters because there's so much gang war going on here, and the
Absolutely.
government is openly condoning and supporting the gang violence and the Khalistani, the terrorist movement in Canada, under the guise of freedom of speech, and openly in war with India, and and who knows, other countries too, in very soon. So this is going to become a huge thing, and with that said, the country is basically, is, if things are not under control, like I said, number one, there'll be intimidation, threats, and all that kind of stuff that's going to be happening in schools. Number two, there could be a mass exodus of Hindus from Canada. Not only Hindus, but also the majority Sikh population that are non-Khalistanis. And three, it's going to be fear of life. Like, people will not even be able to walk on the roads. If you remember, there was a video out just about a couple of days ago that was released on news channels. Nijjar, who was supposed to have been assassinated by the Indian government, and who is a known terrorist, who was a wanted terrorist, was actually wielding an AK-47 in British Columbia. I mean, like, how the heck do these guys come across such serious ammunition? Like, AK-47, come on.
And also the intelligence report today released, and the intelligence today released by Indian government says he was in constant touch with Justin Trudeau. Okay, just for your information.
Yeah, that's possible. I mean, I don't have any evidence of that, but I'm just saying that the information, like what we saw on TV, was that this man was wielding an AK-47 with a bunch of other guys who were also wielding AK-47, and they're just shooting away, and in the forests of BC, right? Either practicing or whatever. So I'm pretty sure that many of the Khalistani gangs are now armed to the hilt with AK-47s, guns, pistols. And Canada is not an open country like liberal country in gun laws as the US. However, despite that, if these guys are carrying AK-47s and things, there's something going on here. I mean, there's definitely some, I don't want to say it, but obviously you cannot get an AK-47 into the country without some higher up interference or influence or whatever.
Anyway, friends, so what do you think? Parents are horrified in Canada, they're for their children, the most vulnerable after the terrorist threat from Khalistani terrorists. And what do you think? Let us know and comment. And they're most vulnerable. And this is what is happening. Like Vinay Ji discussed about, comment your opinion, and also share the video as much as you can, because Hindus feel betrayed. Hindus feel left alone. Hindus, it is like you are in the right now, the way Hindus feel is pretty much they have been thrown in the middle of the vowels. Okay, that's how it is. But comment, share, and we will love to talk to you again. Till then, Jai Jai Sri Ram, Vinay Ji.
Jai Sri Ram.